Here's the thing, the year is 2030, and a warehouse in Shenzhen, China, runs 24 hours a day with only 4 human employees. The rest of the work, moving boxes, sorting packages, loading trucks, is handled by autonomous robots that never sleep, never take a coffee break, and never ask for a raise. That warehouse isn't science fiction. It's already operating today, and it's a glimpse of what's coming for every industry on Earth. This is the story of the biggest workplace transformation in human history, and it's happening right now. In 2023, a company called Amazon deployed over 750,000 robots in its fulfillment centers worldwide. That's not a prediction. That's a fact. And those robots aren't just carrying shelves, they're picking products, packing boxes, and even driving forklifts. Meanwhile, in 2024, OpenAI released a tool called Operator that can browse the web, fill out forms, and book appointments, all by itself. These are autonomous agents, software programs that don't just answer questions, they take action. They make decisions. They complete tasks. And they're getting better every single month. But here's what most people don't realize. This isn't about robots replacing factory workers, that's already happening. The real revolution is happening in offices, in hospitals, in law firms, in banks. A 2025 study by McKinsey estimated that up to 30% of current work hours in the United States could be automated by 2030. That's 45 million jobs. 45 million. And it's not just repetitive tasks, it's analytical work, creative work, even managerial work. The agents are coming for the white-collar world, and they're arriving faster than anyone predicted. So what does that mean for you? For your job? For your children's future? The answer is complicated, and it's not all doom and gloom. But it does require a hard look at what we value as humans. What we're really good at. And what we're willing to change. Because the agents aren't coming, they're already here. And the only question is whether we're ready. In 2016, a legal AI called Ross was hired by a law firm to do research. It could read thousands of cases in minutes and find precedents that human lawyers took days to discover. The lawyers didn't lose their jobs, but they did lose their research assistants. Fast forward to 2025, and AI agents are drafting contracts, reviewing documents, and even predicting case outcomes with 90% accuracy. The legal profession is just one example. Every white-collar industry is facing the same disruption. But here's the twist. The AI agents aren't just doing the grunt work, they're moving up the ladder. In 2024, a study by MIT showed that AI could generate marketing copy, design logos, and even write computer code that passed peer review. Software engineers at companies like Google and Microsoft are already using AI assistants to write 40% of their code. These aren't chatbots answering questions, they're agents that take a goal, break it down into steps, and execute those steps autonomously. They're the difference between a map and a self-driving car. The shift from chatbots to doers is happening in 3 waves. First came the chatbots, tools like ChatGPT that could generate text. Then came the copilots, tools that could help humans do tasks faster. And now we're entering the 3rd wave, the agents. These are systems that don't need a human in the loop. They can book your flight, negotiate a price, manage your calendar, and even respond to emails, all without you lifting a finger. In 2025, Microsoft launched Copilot Studio, which lets businesses create custom agents in minutes. The tools are becoming accessible to everyone. What does this mean for the average worker? It means that the skills that were valuable in 2015, typing, filing, basic data entry, are becoming obsolete. But it also means that the skills that were always valuable, judgment, creativity, empathy, are becoming more important than ever. The key is to understand that agents aren't just a new tool. They're a new kind of worker. And they're changing the very nature of what it means to have a job. Imagine a hospital in Tokyo in 2025. A robot named Eric is learning to cook omelets, fold laundry, and even assist in surgeries. Meanwhile, in California, a company called Figure has built a humanoid robot that can walk, talk, and pick up objects with human-like dexterity. These aren't just laboratory experiments, they're being tested in real warehouses and factories. The physical world is getting wired, and it's happening faster than most people realize. The numbers are staggering. The International Federation of Robotics reported that in 2024, there were over 4 million industrial robots in operation worldwide, a record high. And it's not just heavy industry. Robots are now serving food in restaurants, cleaning floors in offices, and even delivering packages on city streets. In 2023, Amazon's drone delivery service made its first commercial deliveries in California and Texas. By 2025, it's expanded to dozens of cities. The physical world is becoming automated. But here's the thing that surprises people. The most advanced robots aren't the humanoid ones you see in movies. They're the specialized machines that do one thing perfectly. A robot that can stack boxes in a warehouse is more useful than a robot that can dance and tell jokes. And those specialized robots are getting cheaper every year. In 2010, an industrial robot cost about $50,000. By 2025, that price has dropped to under $10,000. That's an 80% decrease in 15 years. And it's making automation accessible to small businesses, not just giant corporations. So what happens when the physical world is fully automated? Farms run by drones and robotic harvesters. Construction sites where bricklaying robots work alongside human engineers. Restaurants where the kitchen is entirely robotic. It's not a distant future, it's a present that's arriving in waves. And each wave brings a new challenge. What do the people do? The answer lies in the next chapter. The year is 2027. A large bank in New York announces that it has eliminated 20% of its workforce, over 5,000 employees, replaced by AI agents that handle customer service, fraud detection, and even financial advising. The CEO says it's a necessary step for efficiency. The employees say they were blindsided. This scene is playing out across every industry, from retail to healthcare to manufacturing. The great job displacement is not a future threat, it's a present reality. According to a 2025 report from the World Economic Forum, 83 million jobs will be displaced by AI and automation by 2027, but 69 million new jobs will be created. That's a net loss of 14 million jobs. And the new jobs won't be the same as the old ones. They'll require different skills that many workers don't have. The gap between the jobs that disappear and the jobs that appear is called the skills gap, and it's the biggest challenge of the next decade. But the displacement isn't happening evenly. It's hitting certain groups harder than others. Workers in routine jobs, data entry, telemarketing, assembly line, are at the highest risk. In 2024, a study by the Brookings Institution found that 25% of American jobs are at high risk of automation, and those jobs are concentrated in the Midwest and the South, in industries like manufacturing and agriculture. The people affected are often older, less educated, and have fewer options to retrain. Here's a story that illustrates the human cost. In 2023, a 58-year-old factory worker in Ohio named Jim lost his job when his plant automated its assembly line. He had worked there for 30 years. He had a mortgage, 2 kids in college, and no other skills. He spent 2 years looking for work, and finally found a job as a security guard, at half his old salary. Jim's story is not unique. It's happening to millions of people. And as the agents get smarter, it's going to happen to more and more of us. But here's the part that doesn't make headlines. The same technology that kills jobs also creates new ones, and not just tech jobs. In 2025, there are over 200,000 job postings for AI trainers, people who teach AI systems to understand human behavior. There are jobs for prompt engineers, AI ethicists, and robot maintenance technicians. These are jobs that didn't exist 5 years ago, and they're growing faster than any other category. Consider the field of healthcare. AI agents are now diagnosing diseases from medical images with greater accuracy than human doctors. But that doesn't mean doctors are obsolete. Instead, it means they can spend more time with patients, providing the human touch that machines can't replicate. A 2024 study in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that AI-assisted doctors had a 30% lower burnout rate than those who didn't use AI. The technology isn't replacing them, it's enhancing them. The same pattern appears in other industries. In finance, AI agents handle routine transactions, but human advisors are in higher demand for complex financial planning. In education, AI tutors provide personalized learning, but human teachers are needed for mentorship and emotional support. The key is that new work for humans is focused on what humans do best: creativity, problem-solving, and social interaction. And the numbers back this up. The World Economic Forum predicts that by 2030, there will be 97 million new jobs in fields like AI development, data analysis, and green energy. These jobs require a combination of technical skills and soft skills, communication, empathy, and adaptability. The people who thrive will be those who can work alongside the agents, not against them. The future isn't about competing with machines, it's about collaborating with them. The traditional education system is broken. It was designed in the 19th century to produce factory workers, and it hasn't changed much since. But in a world where AI agents can answer any question in seconds, memorizing facts is no longer enough. The education revolution is about teaching students how to think, not what to think. It's about creativity, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence. In 2025, Finland introduced a new national curriculum that replaces traditional subjects with interdisciplinary projects. Students don't study history, math, and science separately, they work on real-world problems like climate change and urbanization. The goal is to prepare them for a world where change is constant and adaptability is key. Other countries are following suit. Singapore has integrated AI literacy into its primary school curriculum. China is using AI tutors in thousands of classrooms. But the revolution isn't just in schools, it's in the workplace. Lifelong learning is becoming the norm. In 2024, online learning platform Coursera reported that enrollments in AI and machine learning courses had tripled in just 2 years. Companies like IBM and Amazon are offering free training programs to help workers learn new skills. The idea is that a job is no longer a fixed career, it's a series of learning experiences. Here's a concrete example. In 2023, a 40-year-old accountant named Maria lost her job to an AI agent that could do her work in seconds. Instead of giving up, she enrolled in a 6-month coding bootcamp. By 2025, she's working as a data analyst, making 20% more than she did before. Maria's story is evidence of the power of retraining. But it also highlights a gap: not everyone has the time, money, or access to such programs. The education revolution must be inclusive, or it will leave millions behind. The AI agents are incredibly good at analyzing data, recognizing patterns, and executing tasks. But there's one thing they will never be able to do: truly understand human emotions. Empathy is the ability to feel what another person feels. It's the foundation of trust, connection, and compassion. And it's the human advantage that no algorithm can replicate. Consider a study from 2024 published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology. Researchers had AI agents and human therapists respond to patients' emotional statements. The patients rated the human therapists as significantly more empathetic and trustworthy. Even when the AI responses were identical in content, the human touch made all the difference. This is why fields like counseling, social work, and nursing will always need humans. But empathy isn't just for healthcare. It's essential in leadership, sales, and customer service. In 2025, a survey by Salesforce found that 70% of customers prefer to interact with human agents for complex issues, even though AI can resolve simple ones faster. The reason is simple: people want to feel heard, not just processed. And that's something only humans can provide. The human advantage also includes creativity. AI can generate art, music, and writing, but it can't create something truly novel. It can only remix existing ideas. In 2024, a study by the University of California found that AI-generated inventions were 90% similar to existing patents, while human inventors were 90% novel. The spark of originality is uniquely human. So as the agents take over the routine, humans are free to focus on the extraordinary. The future isn't about doing more, it's about being more human. Chapter 8, The Gig Economy 2.0. The 9-to-5 is dying. You can feel it in the way your neighbor juggles 3 remote gigs, or how your cousin just booked a week of work through an app that matches her skills to a robot's schedule. This isn't the old gig economy of delivering takeout or driving strangers around. This is the Gig Economy 2.0, where autonomous agents are the new middlemen, connecting human talent to tasks that require a human touch. Imagine a world where you wake up, check a dashboard, and see a list of opportunities, some lasting an hour, some lasting a month, all curated by algorithms that know your strengths better than you do. You might spend the morning teaching a robot how to recognize emotional nuance in customer service calls, then switch to a virtual reality session designing a new store layout for a retail chain that has no physical stores. The work is fluid, the pay is variable, and the security is gone. But so is the boredom. The old contract was, show up, do your time, collect your check. The new contract is, prove your worth, adapt, and keep learning, or fade into the background. It's terrifying and liberating in equal measure. And it's already happening. Companies are realizing that a flexible workforce, augmented by AI, can scale up or down in minutes, not months. They don't need to hire full-time employees when they can tap into a global pool of specialists on demand. But this shift comes with a dark side. The safety nets we built for the industrial age, healthcare, pensions, unemployment insurance, are all tied to the traditional job. In the gig economy 2.0, you're on your own. You have to be your own HR department, your own benefits broker, your own career coach. The question isn't whether you can handle the work, it's whether you can handle the uncertainty. And yet, there's a strange dignity in it. You're not a cog in a machine, you're a free agent, a micro-entrepreneur. You have the freedom to choose your projects, to work when you want, to live where you want. But with freedom comes responsibility. The autonomous agents that connect you to work don't care if you can't pay your rent. They just care about the next task. So, the gig economy 2.0 is a high-wire act without a net. It's the ultimate test of human resilience and adaptability. And for those who can master it, the rewards are immense, not just financially, but in terms of autonomy and purpose. But for those who can't, they're left behind, watching the world speed up, wondering where the safety net went. So, if you're thinking about jumping into the gig economy 2.0, remember this, it's not a job, it's a way of life. And it's not for everyone. But for the